legitimate sense. I mean, honestly...
Yeah, they can beat them in a situation where they don't have to straight up beat them, but when it comes to, actually facing off... That's actually good. I'd be fine with. It'd be one of those situations. It's good storytelling. It'd definitely be a situation where I'd be okay with the next week. All of a sudden they drop them again.
But but I also see, to your point, Authors of Pain. They're starting to get better and better. I'm not fully on the bandwagon right now, but they are slowly just starting to grow on me, which you can definitely say about a lot of people. A lot of wrestlers. Certain other wrestlers, they will never grow on me to save their lives. Eva Marie.
Mojo Rawley.
Yeah. the guy who shows off his trophy to a bunch of kids and then gets kicked in the shin.
Yeah. Hey, I just want to point this out. Between Mojo Rawley and Eva Marie, here's the best way I can sum up my feelings on Mojo Rawley. Mm-hmm. At least Eva Marie is quiet.
Wow.
Yeah, it might be unjustified. Maybe I'm being salty when it comes to Mojo, but... Oh, God, he's so annoying.
Just a little bit. All right, so singles match for the WWE United Kingdom Championship. A rematch from the finals from the UK tournament. Tyler Bate defending against Pete Dunne. Thank the ever-loving God that nobody has put the word master in front of Tyler Bate's name.
I have heard people make a bait and switch joke, though.
Oh.
Which, honestly, is that one's pretty
That's
clever.
actually pretty clever.
That's actually pretty... Although I don't think a bait and switch is going to happen here. I personally... Man, Pete Dunne is fucking gold right now. I'm taking Pete Dunne. I think it's going to be a lot of people would say, "Oh, so you're predicting an upset." I don't necessarily think it's going to be an upset. Just because a champion loses a belt doesn't mean it's an upset victory.
Right.
I personally think it'll be. I mean, I'm not adding this to my prediction. My prediction is straight up Pete Dunne wins. But I do think, honestly, this one could go where it's pretty even for the first half of it or so, and then Pete Dunne just trucks him.
I can definitely see that too. Yeah, I'm going with Pete Dunne too. I see it more as an upset because Tyler Bate has obviously been the champion for quite a while. And, I think that with the way that they build up, the United Kingdom, wrestlers, anytime that they do something like that, it's kind of one of those things like, oh my gosh, they went down this path. Holy crap. So, yeah, I agree. I think Pete Dunne's going to win the title tonight. Next matchup, a singles match, which will have Roderick Strong against Eric Young with Cassius Ohno, Noe Jose, Alexander Wolf, and Killian Dane at ringside. So, kind of a mini... I don't know if they'll make this into a six-man tag.
I don't think they will. I think Ohno, Jose, Dane, and Wolf will just be at ringside, essentially.
And who knows, they might all get, thrown out, and we might just get a one-on-one match between Roderick Strong and Eric Young, which... Yeah. Ooh.
Plus, they'll probably have a moment where, someone jumps onto the whole crowd,
Right. Yeah, so, man.
This one's tough.
You know what? I think that for the sake of it right now, I'm going to go with Eric Young. I think at this point they're really doing a good job with the whole Sanity deal. And a lot of times when I pick against, Sanity, it bites me in the ass. So I think right now they'll continue, having Sanity continue this undefeated role, I guess you could say. And honestly, if they continue this and they bring them up to the main roster, can you just imagine, the possibilities for this? Just having Sanity going up there and just almost destroying everybody.
Imagine Sanity and the Wyatts merging.
Oh my God. That would be that's darker than the Ministry of Darkness, in all honesty.
I gotta actually side with you on that one. I gotta go with Eric Young just because... it's not because I legitimately think Eric Young is going to win. I think it makes the most sense because he lost his big blow-off match with Ty Dillinger, and Ty Dillinger went up to SmackDown and Raw, pretty much high on a victory. I think if they want to have Sanity, actually pose some degree of a threat, their leader needs to start winning a bit more. So I personally think he's going to go over Roderick Strong. It might not be a clean, straight-up win, but it's going to happen.
Yeah, I definitely do agree with that now that you make that point.
Next one is not hard at all.
Yeah, we're going to do one of those deals where it's just, we'll pick on three. Triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship. 1, 2, 3. Asuka. Yeah. It doesn't make sense to put the belts on Ruby Riott or Nikki Cross. I mean, there was a time where that would have made sense for Nikki Cross to hold the belt, but right now, I think she's just so deep in this feud with Ruby Riott.
It would feel random right now. Like, there's no story to it. Like, with Ember Moon, you could tell both she and Asuka in their match were holding back because something more was coming, another match, another chapter in the story, and plus they had, that whole, her wandering around, this WrestleMania sets being taken down, talking about how, she will, take out Asuka, yada, yada, yada. So the story is clearly there. That's clearly what they were planning. It would feel random and not in that good way. Like, sometimes you can have that sudden, random shock victory. And those work just fine. Those can work beautifully. It has to be against the right opponent, and Asuka's not the right one. I guess you could make the argument, oh, it's a triple threat, which means, like, Ruby Riott could pin Nikki Cross and get the belt. Asuka's too much of a ring general. If she sees one of them pinning the other, she's just going to run over and blast them. I mean, they basically have to double team her, rain chair shots on her for a while, and then start going at each other, and by the time they could get to pinning one of them, Asuka, tough as she is, would conceivably be on her feet again.
I mean, it legitimately could be like one of those moments where it was like WrestleMania 24 with Triple H, Cena, and Orton, where Triple H, he hits the pedigree, it's like 1, 2, here's Orton, boop, kicks Triple H in the head, 1, 2, 3 on Cena, Orton gets the victory. And again, just the way that Asuka also is playing as a heel, she is just doing such a tremendous job. Like you said, it's got to be the right opponent to just end it.
Yeah.
I mean, if they do maybe like a surprise deal and maybe they still like, oh, hey, we're still going to have a fatal 4-way, and they bring somebody like completely new or just bring that shock value in, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, they did that at WrestleMania for the Hardys. I mean, I would love to actually see that with this matchup where it's like, oh, well, we're going to predict this will happen and blah, blah, blah. And then next thing you know, I don't know, somebody like Cobra Moon, Ivelisse, or...
Okay, if Ivelisse showed up, then I'd definitely be okay with her winning. Be like, but what about Asuka? Yeah, Ivelisse, not even just Lucha Underground. I've, seen some of her other shit. Oh my god! Plus, she has a legit MMA fighting background. Asuka's got a shoot fighting background. Come on, that one writes itself a little bit. I mean, they both, super kick, cross, and ride out of the ring, and then they just stare down each other. Oh, imagine if we got this as a duel. They start doing their names back and forth, but then the dueling chant becomes Lucha Underground NXT!
Oh.
First off, Vince somewhere would just be ripping what little hair he has left out of his head because someone is chanting for something that isn't his, but at the same time, oh my god!
Oh my god, let it happen, please. Alright, so the main event for Chicago... The NXT Championship, Bobby Roode defending against Hideo Itami, and I want to ask this because this is kind of interesting how they've been building it up. Does it seem like Hideo Itami is being a little bit more heelish than normal? Because I mean, here's the thing. I mean, you bring this up a lot when it comes down to it. I mean, especially during the Roman Reigns Triple H deal. It's like, Triple H, he's the heel guy. He's supposed to, he's beating down on people. But, it's like, he's had a matchup. He's done this. And then here comes Roman Reigns, beats him down. He's supposed to be the babyface. But,
yeah.
That kind of deal. But now, obviously, that's not the same case with Hideo Itami. I don't know. I just see him having this facial expression of just, I hate you or something like that, where he's just...
I honestly think a lot of what they're doing there with him is they're playing off just the fact that Bobby Roode is running roughshod over the entire promotion, so to speak.
That is actually very true.
And on top of that, a lot of that running roughshod happened while Itami was out on the bench. So I think I think it's mostly just anger that's going on there, and it's mostly just, oh, fuck this entitled rich asshole. That being said, as much as I want Hideo Itami to win, and as much as I think that if the GTS gets hit, it should end with that, I actually think they're going to have Roode retain. Now, notice I said retain, I didn't say win. Really? He could win and keep the belt. He could get himself counted out or DQ'd or something. He could basically pull this short little, Japanese guy in the yellow and black trunks. He's not worth my time. Screw this. Gets himself counted out. Hideo runs down, kicks him a couple times, GTS's him, and then they have a rematch later. But I personally think Roode's going to retain.
All right. So Well, with that kind of way of thinking, are you picking Hideo Itami to win, but Rude to retain? Basically,
Do I have to actually pick a clear winner? I can't just do the retain.
Well, I mean, there's nothing really on the line, so I mean, you can honestly pick that, and
I'm probably just going to go with that. That one, I think that's also the best opportunity for story at this point.
Okay, I could definitely see that. I will go with Bobby Roode winning, obviously via shenanigans.
Okay.
Foot on the ropes, maybe just using the clunk in the title belt when the referee is down.
Tights,
just that kind of deal, because it's Bobby Roode, and honestly, like you said, it just goes into great storytelling. I see Hideo Itami picking up the strap, just not right now. I think that they have maybe at least one more good matchup with Bobby Roode, and maybe have him run with it just a little bit. I'm trying to think, who else could they do? I mean, honestly, I know they're really heavily building up, Drew McIntyre, but do I see him winning the NXT belt from Bobby Roode? Not in the near future. He's still kind of just doing some random things, and plus he's got the awesome matchup against Murphy this upcoming week. Murphy's gonna die.
Oh God!
Totally okay with that.
Murphy's a dead man walking.
rolling. Damn it all!
No,
I forgot that you hate.
I don't get to say this that often, but not in my house.
Oh man! So those are our predictions for NXT Takeover Chicago. Let's get into the Backlash predictions, and of course your predictions for the Elite Ringside Network Championship. Honest to God, I want us to go to a wrestling show, one of the independent shows. And, we're, of course, doing, this whole deal where maybe we have, matching shirts or something like that, and we just start a Elite chant, but it's, almost like Delete. It's just Elite, Elite,
now,
Elite.
Before we do that, there's just one thing I want to say to all my fellow wrestling fans out there. When you do the Delete chant and the hand gesture, remember, it's your index finger pointed out, and you go kind of straight across your chest. Stop doing accidental Nazi salutes.
Oh, jeez.
I've seen people, sometimes they'll, hold their hand out, and I'm just like, okay, maybe nowadays isn't really the right time to do that. So just remember, across the chest, not up by your chin.
And with one finger.
Exactly. Don't stick your whole hand out. That's getting a little awkward. Anyway.
Fair enough. I mean, it's a Raw thing. We're talking about a SmackDown event. It just makes perfect sense.
Anyway.
All right, so let's go into the pre-show. We have the rematch between Ty Dillinger and
Ty
Aiden English.
Dillinger.
You're going with Ty Dillinger?
I'm going with Ty Dillinger. I'm not even... Don't get me wrong, I do like Aiden English. I like them both, but I think right now they're a little bit higher up with Ty Dillinger, so I think they're probably going to roll with him.
Yeah, and I'll choose Aiden English. So this is one of those things where my predictions aren't going to matter, but it's always good to have this kind of deal in case there's nobody there that you does things. So I'll pick Aiden English. I think it's finally time to give him his first win and give him just a little bit of a boost. I think Ty Dillinger's got a long way to go.
Oh, yeah. The crowd's going to be behind him for a while. Even if they're not necessarily behind him, they'll be behind the 10 chants, and we all know that creative tends to think, well, if you're chanting the thing they said, that means you like them, so they'll continue to do stuff with him anyway, even if the crowd really isn't hyped for him anymore.
This is true.
Oh, God, I forgot about Harper versus Rowan.
Yep, Luke Harper versus Eric Rowan. The rematch from SmackDown.
Oh, God, I forgot about this one.
Who you got, bud?
You know what? I'm going to go with what I hope happens. I'm going to go with Luke Harper.
Going with the Harpster?
Yeah, I part of me does think that there's a chance they'll probably go Eric Rowan because he's bigger. But at the same time, that's where I would go if it were Raw. The fact that it's on SmackDown gives me a little inkling of hope that they'll go with Harper.
Yeah, I agree. I think that, they'll still continue building up this rivalry, which is good because now they're giving us something different. Do I like the fact that, that it's basically the Wyatt family breaking down? Not necessarily. No. But it's just one of those things where it's different at least. Right. And that's why I also love the main event because, supposed main event because there's two matches that could definitely be the main event. Because,
we'll get to that.
Yeah. All right. So, next matchup, Baron Corbin versus Sami Zayn. I'm going with Zayn. I think right now Baron Corbin, he still has quite a bit of wind left in him, and I think that this one matchup here is going to be more for Zayn. The two Adams, well, I should say the one Adam and Plumpy, they made the point of saying that Sami Zayn losing, it's not going to affect him too much.